Good evening, Mr. Singer. How are you doing today?
Steve, sir. Yeah, I'm hale and hearty, sir. I'm over the moon after meeting with you.
Oh my God, you give me a lot of credit, dear sir.
Yeah. How about you, sir?
I am doing excellent, Mr. Singer. Life is being very kind to me. Although it is a little bit chilly around these parts, so that has made me a little bit indolent. It has made me a little bit lethargic, so to speak. Okay, because of the cold weather, you don't feel very active all day long. You feel as if you wish you were bundled up inside blankets, and you could spend your entirety of the day wrapped up, on your bed, simply scrolling through your favorite TV show, maybe something like that. So yeah,
Got
that
it. Yes.
apart from that, apart from the chilly weather, which fortunately has abated a little bit recently, apart from that, everything is going great. How is the weather on your end? You seem to be
Uh,
wearing only a t-shirt.
yeah, actually, in the morning time, in the evening time, we get little bit cold, but it is not that much intense actually. We are not shivering, but we have started wearing winter clothes. But actually, I am sitting in the rooms.
Mhm.
Even I have run my fan as well. So
Okay,
in the
you
morning
find
time, yeah,
that is that is a different time for us. When
yes.
our phones used to function, that seems like a long way back now. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're not experiencing the extremities of weather. Okay, it's nice to have mild weather, right? It's much
Yeah,
more,
it is moderate, I say, moderate, mediocre.
yeah. So it's much more tolerable. It's much more manageable that way.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Whereas, if you experience extreme temperature dips, then again your appetite starts getting affected, your energy levels start getting affected, and your bravery. It takes courage to even take a shower and go out riding on a bike. Simple things become a chore. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, got it. Yes, yes. Yeah.
So what do we have to discuss today? Have you taken a look at the topic for discussion today, Mr. Singhal?
Yeah, I went to the session notes, so and I have seen there is 2 ears and one mouth.
Hmm.
The topic name is
The topics, yeah. So the power of active listening, right?
yeah.
So do you have a pen and paper handy? Do you have a pen and paper next to you? I would like to conduct a small exercise. Okay.
Oh, sure, sure, sure. Actually,
So I'll do the exercise along with you. Okay. I'll tell
okay,
you about some things. I'll tell you to draw something. I'll give you instructions.
okay,
And
sir.
I'll also draw that. You will also draw that. And we'll present each other's art at the end of the exercise. All right.
Let me take the copy.
All right. All set, Mr. Singer?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. So should I begin?
Sure, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So first I need you to, at the bottom of the page, draw a big circle. Okay.
Big circle. Okay.
And
Big
on,
circle.
yeah, on top of that, I want you to draw a slightly smaller circle.
Okay. Big circle. Bottom and top. A smaller circle.
Yeah, slightly smaller circle.
Sharing with this circle. Another one circle.
On top of it.
Okay.
Okay. So this exercise is about active listening. So if I
Yeah.
have to say it twice,
So
I
is
want
it
you
like
to,
that? Is it
no,
like that?
we'll compare it at the end. Yeah, but right now you are following the instructions. Okay.
Okay, okay. Huh.
So, and on top of the second circle, I want you to draw an even smaller circle.
Okay.
Okay.
I have made. Yeah.
All right, great. Now we have to add a small rectangle at the top, at the very top. A
At the
small,
very top. Stop. A small rectangle.
yes,
Small.
a small
Uh,
rectangle at the very top.
small than this circle. What I have made right now.
Yes, the
Okay.
last circle. You can't ask questions actually because this is about active listening. So you have to just
Okay,
follow. You can't
okay.
ask follow
Got
up
it,
questions in this exercise.
got
All
it,
right.
got it, got it, got it,
You
sir.
have to
Yeah,
do whatever you hear and understand. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So on the
Uh-huh.
top circle, you have to draw two eyes now.
No, at the top of this rectangle.
In the top circle, you have to draw two eyes
Okay.
and a smiley face.
Yes.
Okay. Now in the middle circle, you have to draw two hands. Okay.
Two hands. No.
Yes, two hands in the middle circle. In the top circle, between the eyes and the smiley face, you have to add a small rectangle, a small triangle, sorry. Between the eyes and the smile, in the top circle, you have to add a small triangle.
Eyes and smiley.
Between the eyes and the smiley face, there needs to be a small triangle. Okay,
Got it.
all right. So, did you draw the arms in the middle circle?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now in the largest circle, you have to draw three buttons arranged
Each.
vertically.
Three buttons. Vertically. Okay.
Vertically, yes. So, what do you think we made? Can you show me what you made, Mr. Singer? Okay, great. Yeah, I think you nailed it. You tinted just a little bit. Yeah, fine. Wonderful. So, what do you think that is? This is what I do. Can you see what I drew?
Yeah, it is the same.
Exactly. So, you were
Exactly.
able to follow my instructions down to the letter. You are very good at active listening. That proves it. So, what do you think that is?
Yeah, so I was just following your instruction and I have nailed it.
So, but what do you think we drew? What do you think we made? We
Actually,
drew a,
I'm
yeah.
so it proves that I'm what we have made actually. So I think this guy is sitting on the what is this actually?
It is a snowman, Mr. Singer.
Snowman.
Yes.
Okay,
In Christmas time in cold countries, a lot of children they make snowmen, right?
okay,
This is
snowman.
how they
Okay.
do it. They will take three spheres of snow, place them on top of each other, and then they will add these noses and eyes. They'll add sticks for arms, and that
Okay,
gets a snowman. Okay, so
great.
like, what did
Yes.
you understand from this activity about the power of active listening?
So I got to know that I'm good listener and whenever somebody is telling you somebody is instructing you, so you must listen consciously, attentively.
Yeah.
I think you would be you should be good listener before telling anything. I think.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to pay particular attention to detail, and
Right.
I witnessed that also. I noticed that also. You were very particular. You
Yes.
asked follow-up questions about details. Where should I do this? Where should I do that? Right.
Right.
Well,
Hmm.
now, there are four kinds of listeners. In the activity section of the session notes, there are four kinds of listening. Okay. One is informational listening, the other is discriminative listening, the third one is sympathetic listening, and the fourth one is comprehensive listening. So let us break them down. Let us try and understand what each one of them means. So, can you take an educated guess? What is informational listening?
Informational listening.
Mhm.
Okay, so I have to tell about informational listening.
Yes, you have to take a guess. What do you think informational listening means?
Informational listening, so I can take instance in my company.
Sure.
So yeah, so whatever my bosses and my colleagues usually say me, so I listen attentively,
Hmm.
and then I think about upon that matter. Then
Sure.
I do brainstorm,
Okay.
and uh, then I finalize that what should I do and what shouldn't I do.
Okay.
So yeah, so when it comes to company, so we have to be good listener
Mm.
before performing any task, before implementing any task.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I would say, so in terms of company, it is mandatory to listen.
Mhm.
Uh, it is mandatory to be good listener.
Okay.
Mhm.
So informational listening, basically, you took it a little bit further. You took it, farther down the line. After listening, also you elaborated upon what you do. For example, you talked about brainstorming. You talked about,
Mhm.
analyzing whatever you listen
Mhm.
to. So we are talking only about the first phase, just the listening part, right? So informational listening is trying to get the required or the requisite information that pertains to you, okay, and
Okay.
zooming out of the other information, or the other content of the speech, okay.
Okay, it is which is out of your work, which is not your concern. So I
Exactly.
think, yeah, so you shouldn't worry about that, and I think you should you should leave that part.
It's not whether you should do that or not do that. It's not
Mhm.
about what you are supposed to do. It's more
Mhm.
about, yes, you are that kind of a listener. You are an informational listener if you
Yeah.
only listen to the information pertaining to you, connected, concerned with you,
Okay.
and
Correct.
you don't pay much attention to the rest of the subject matter. Then
Rest
you
of the
are
subject.
doing
Okay.
informational listening. All right.
So okay, so the listener who listen, which is helpful for him, and which is not in their hand, and they are not listening that matter, right?
Exactly. For example, in an office meeting, an office meeting is being like targeted towards different departments of the office, of the work sphere. For example, there is some stuff about the accounting department. There is some stuff about the sales department. There is some stuff about the programming department, maybe. Okay.
Right.
So because you are in the accounting department, so you only pay attention to that portion of the meeting where about information about the accounting department was being given. All right. And in other areas, you just let it blow over your head, right? You did not
Nice.
pay a lot of attention, right? So discriminative listening. Okay, this is also very similar to you know uh, the
Information,
listening. Yes,
informative listening.
listening is also like listening to discriminating what is important for me and what is not important for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one way of distinction between informational and discriminative is like during a speech, sometimes some information might be given, but sometimes some small talk might also be done, right? The listener, the speaker might try to connect with the listener. He might say a few anecdotes, maybe, right? He might relay a few life experiences. He might
Mm-hmm.
want to speak about some life lessons that he had learned, no, in order to build a connection with the listener. So if you phase all of that out, if you zone out of all of that, and you only concentrate on the information, then you are an informational listener. Whereas discriminatory a listener is somebody who will only listen to what is concerning him, okay, and nothing else. Whether that is information, whether that is some life advice, anything, but that should pertain to him. If it is aimed at somebody else and he is not bothered by it, so he will not pay any attention, right? So in that way, they are different but very similar also. All right.
Okay.
What do you think sympathetic listening means?
Sympathetic listening means sympathetic means if you are kind of if you have sympathy,
Hmm.
if you are listening something, and if your intention is like if you are sympathy upon that matter, you have sympathy on that matter. So I think it is kind of sympathetic listening, and you have emotion, and if you are kind upon that matter, so I think it is kind of sympathetic listening.
Yes, you are very much in the ballpark. Okay, that is exactly what it is. Sympathetic listening is basically trying to gauge out the emotional construct, okay, or the
Right.
emotional state of mind of the person who is speaking, trying to understand where he is coming from, trying to understand
Right.
his challenges or his plight or why he is opening up to you. You know, what
Mm-hmm.
is he trying to say? Trying to read between the lines, right?
Right.
Do you understand what this idiom means? Reading between the lines.
Reading between the lines. I'm listening first time.
Okay, Rose, reading between the lines means picking up on cues that are not verbally mentioned. Okay, for
Okay.
example, if somebody comes, like suppose I come to you asking for a loan, okay, but I am having a lot of trouble asking you directly. Okay, so maybe I'll start talking about how much difficulty I'm encountering nowadays, balancing my books, and I'm already in debt, or I have a huge expense coming up, and I'm very ill prepared to meet it. Okay, and I'm wondering how I'll resolve this issue, how I'll get over this situation. So why I'm doing this, although I'm not speaking that please give me money, Mr. Singh, right? But it is an unspoken thing that you pick on, so that is reading
Right.
lines, right?
If you are, if you have same feeling, the person who is in front of you, so I think that is sympathy, and that
Yes.
is sympathetic listening.
Yeah. So in
Yeah.
sympathetic listening, you also read between the lines. You try to understand why this content is being shared with you, why the person is opening up with you, what is the reason behind his communication, right?
Right.
If he
Mhm.
just wants to vent a few negative emotions, or if he wants somebody to connect with and he does not have any other fellow, right? That is what sympathy is about, trying to understand the
Yeah.
emotional state of mind of
So
the
there
other,
is one idiom related. So trying to be in other shoe, related to shoe.
trying
So
to be no, trying to be in other person's shoes. So
yeah.
that is also related to sympathy only a little bit, because you try to imagine what I would do if I was in his place. what
Yeah.
I,
Yeah. Yeah.
that is putting yourself in someone else's shoes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So it is
Right.
a little bit similar. Okay, and the last one is comprehensive listening, right? So
Comprehension.
what do you think this one means?
Comprehensive listening means if you need mm, uh, comprehensive, if you want to understand the thing in very profound way, and if you want to if you want to know the details of that matter, I think,
Okay.
and so it is, I think, comprehensive listening. And if somebody is demonstrating the things in a very broad way,
Okay.
so I think that is comprehensive listening.
Right, yeah. Comprehensive listening is basically taking in everything. Okay. And
Okay,
paying attention to each and every little detail. Right? That is
details, yeah.
comprehensive listening. Not only something that relates to you, not only something that pertains to you. Okay, but taking in everything that is being said. Okay, and analyzing everything, giving due attention to all the small things being said. Right. So now that we have gone through four type of listening, which one do you exercise the most?
Actually, I'm introvert person, and I'm less techy too. I'm taciturn person actually.
Okay.
So I would love to listen, but I wouldn't love to talk more, because I believe that sometimes silence is the best answer actually.
True.
And so and I don't want to do more argument on that matter.
Mhm.
But I would love to present myself, and I would love to tell whatever idea I have. But
Mhm.
so I'm that kind of person who listen more, and
Mhm.
after getting conclusion, I
Mhm.
always try to demonstrate myself.
Okay. So if you had to choose one of the four that you exercise, these four types, which one do you
Comprehensive,
choose for yourself?
informative, and sympathetic. I would say I'm that kind of person actually.
Okay. So I would have categorized you as a comprehensive listener, because, and yes, you might be able to judge yourself better in this regard, but yeah, I think a combination of both. Like you are a
Yeah.
sympathetic listener also, and you're a comprehensive. You pay a lot of attention to details. When we did that exercise, I found out that you were paying attention
Okay.
to little details, you are asking follow-up questions. So that tells me that you are very concerned about little details. You don't want to, miss out on anything when something is being communicated to you. So yeah, a combination of sympathetic and comprehensive listening. So you said this about a couple of minutes ago. You said that silence is sometimes the best answer, right?
Mhm.
I quite agree with that statement. Okay, here is a question. Speech is silver, but silence is golden. Okay, so why do people say that? And can you tell me of one instance, one or two instances where the best course of action would be to stay silent?
Many times I have encountered such types of thing in my life. Whenever I indulge uh, in fighting with my spouse, so I
Mm,
keep myself silence, and after some time I feel the matter has been resolved, and
mm,
so it is kind of understanding. It is kind of taking life uh, towards in in right direction,
mhm,
rather than keep on yourself in fighting every time. And
mm,
even I have encountered such types of thing in my companies as well. Even though I was not agree upon the matter, but I kept myself silence at that time. And after some time, those who were opponent,
mhm,
and they had realized that I was right at that time. After some time, but I
mhm,
kept myself silence at that time, and mm, and after some time they have realized that he was telling he was right, and his opinion, his stance was good. And
mhm.
yeah, he told me that if I would have told at that time, I thought that if I would have told at that moment, so definitely there would be there would have been argument.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm,
so I many times I've realized in my I have realized in my life
mm.
that
I
silence is
agree
the
with the
bestest.
first example almost wholeheartedly. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially in a domestic dispute. When you are
yeah.
having a verbal conflict with a spouse or
Mhm.
a close family member, right?
Mhm.
It
Even
sometimes
after
feels,
some time, even after some time, she told that you were right, and actually, after uh, actually when I was cool and composed, so at that time I was like making her cool and composed, and she
yeah,
told me that yeah, actually you made me cool and composed at that time, and
that's
so you were cool and composed. Then after some time, I kept myself cool and composed. It was
right.
so.
With if you don't retaliate, right, to certain accusations or to certain abrasive comments, right,
Mhm.
you disarm your opponent with your silence, with your lack of reciprocation, right?
Yes,
So, like, because arguments feed off of each other, right? If I say something nasty, you hear that your conscience will tell you to say something nasty in return to even the scales, right, to
right,
balance it out. But if you just control that instinct, you exercise some temperance, and you remain tranquil, you remain composed, then that will not provide the other party a reason to further his argument, and he
right,
will
right. Yeah.
probably have an opportunity to introspect as well. So
Yes,
why is he not responding? Because it is the bigger person who walks away from a fight. It is the more mature person, right,
right.
who walks away from a fight instead of being the.
Actually, those who are not responding, they are brave actually, and it is kind of very easy thing. If you are responding in the same way, so you
Hmm.
don't need any braveness. I think it is not a braveness. I think if you are keeping yourself cool and composed, that is braveness. That is, I think, it proves that you are valiant, and uh, I think you are keeping yourself cool and composed. I
Yeah,
think.
you are the mature person, you are the bigger person, you are the most sensible one in the relationship, in the argument, and you proved that. As you said, like, if you retaliate, then that argument will feed off of it, right? The
Right.
other person will get incentive to keep carrying on that argument, right? It
Yes.
will never end. It is like a vicious circle that
Yeah.
becomes very difficult to get out of. But you can shut down an argument by refusing to participate in it, right? And that will give the other person the time to introspect and try to understand ki why is being so mature. Maybe I am in the wrong, right? Because he's not responding, he's being the more mature person. Maybe there is something wrong with my line of reasoning. And that introspection, as you said, that calm headedness, that makes him realize the fault of his ways. And sometimes they will come back and inform you also that your demeanor kind of through a damp towel, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, through a wet blanket, I should say, through a wet blanket on my aggression. And
Right.
like things calm down because of that.
I think your kind of delivery, sir, a little bit different actually, and your formation of sentence is quite good actually. So I wanted to know about how to frame the sentences and the way you structure the sentences. Really, it is commendable. So I wanted to know about this part actually. How can I phrase the sentences in proper way actually? This
It's
is in this part I am weak actually. How to
So
frame the sentences?
I wouldn't say you are weak. Okay. I think my secret, although I'm not very well aware of where it comes from, because it
Mhm.
comes quite naturally to me. I've never actually sat down and analyzed,
So,
tried to make an examination, scrutinize what processes ended up in me framing sentences like that. But I think the main reason could be that I've always immersed myself in English content and English media for a very long amount of time. And
okay.
you are what you consume, right? So if you consume a lot of English media, British shows or American presenters, shows by
Mhm.
American presenters, I watch a lot of educational YouTube content as well,
Okay.
especially by British presenters. And
Mhm.
there I find some old time like BBC videos, BBC Earth videos, talking about pyramids, talking about the wildlife, and things like that. BBC has a very eclectic range of topics that it deals with, right?
Right. Mhm.
So there I think I subconsciously imbibe a little bit of sentence structure from there.
Okay, so there is no thumb rule how to frame the sentences, you can construct the sentences. There is no thumb rule.
I don't think that is something that I can teach. I would love to do that, but that because I don't have a lesson plan for it. Because as I told